Now is the time to put it all together for 4 quarters. That's a good football team. You're going to get their best shot, so do not be surprised. But the talk is over. It's time to go do and execute the plan with love, with strain for the guy next to you, for everybody in this room. It's been a minute since we've been at the crib, bro. We will not lose at the crib today, bro. I mean that. We will not lose at the crib today.
Richardson gives inside handoff. Larry McCammon to the 5. He's going to skip into the end zone. Touchdown, FAU! Tulsa needs a first down. Braxton, pressure, wrapped up, and he's sacked. Jackson ambush got him. Florida Atlantic's going to win the game.
You stand on business. Big 1-0. Big +2. Go ahead.
Guys, we're scratching the surface. Just scratching the surface. Okay? You won a conference game. You won the very first game in conference, American conference play. So congratulations,
Just some of the big moments as the Owls win their first ever game inside the American Athletic Conference, holding off Tulsa by a 20-17 score. Hi everybody, welcome to Inside the Owls Burrow alongside the Hagerty Family head football coach Tom Herman. I'm Frank Fort. Coach, it had been a minute since we had the fight song in the locker room. That was great. Even though you felt the team was improving the last few weeks, now they have that tangible proof, that number in the win column to look at.
Yeah, and it's really important. It is because we played well for a lot of the game the last couple weeks, but haven't had anything to show for it on the scoreboard in terms of wins and losses. And so really proud of our guys. We needed that one. And it didn't matter. It does matter in the grand scheme of things in terms of how it was done, which was ugly. And we're okay with that. We like wins, ugly wins, pretty wins, wins. As long as they have that word next to their name, we're good with it. But you find a way to win. That's a really good building block, a really good teaching opportunity, a really good positive step for this program, having lost so many one-score games as well. So we know we've still got a lot of work to do, but we also know that it's a lot easier to teach and improve off of a win on Sundays.
Even the players admitted afterwards it was harder than it needed to be. There were a couple of key drops there that probably cost FAU some points.
There's nothing in the rule book that says it's got to be close. And for as much in control of that game as we felt pretty much throughout the game, you know, to have them have the ball with a chance to tie or take the lead at the end is evidence that we didn't do enough to finish drives. We didn't do enough to capitalize on some things that went our way. And so the biggest step we had to overcome was find a way to get a hard-fought victory, close out a game, you know, score some points, play well in the run game offensively the way we did. So we accomplished a lot of things against Tulsa, got our first win in the American Conference in our program's history. There was a lot of positives to be taken from that game, but we also know that in order to achieve our long-term goals, we've got a lot of work to do.
Coach Herman's interview brought to you every week by Phil Smith Automotive, driving the Owls to victory together in style. The run game, you mentioned it, over 230 yards. Larry McCammon had a career high 130 and 2 touchdowns. Kobe Lewis had 80, including a 58-yard. He broke off a 58-yarder. With the weather deteriorating, I'm just thinking that run game had to be on par.
It was critical, and you saw Tulsa, you know, kind of lean on their quarterback run game a little bit, and we've got some work to do there defensively. But yeah, really proud of the offensive line, proud of Larry and Kobe, proud of Coach Fry and the offensive staff, you know, for really getting that side of the game going on that side of the ball. And, you know, it had been in quite the slumber lately, if you will. I think we saw some signs of life against Illinois. We're playing against like people, you know, the matchups up front against Clemson and Illinois were certainly not in our favor. I thought our guys played well, played admirably up front, but we also know that there's there's a talent gap there that eventually wears on you. And to be able to do what we did in the run game against Tulsa, not just with the front, but as you mentioned, the two tailbacks was a sign of very good things to come.
Defensively, your linebackers were very active. Jackson Ambush, Desmond Tisdall, and Jalen Wester each had 8 tackles. Your defensive backs had a couple of picks. And then, of course, the Jackson Ambush sack on the 4th down play on the final drive. You talk about a big play at just the right time.
You know, you hate to be in that situation. A couple things. You'd like to be able to close the game out with your offense. Didn't get that done. We get a 71-yard punt, force them into a couple 4th downs, you know, and are unable to get off the field. But our defense bowed their back there on that last drive, and certainly Jackson and that pass rush on 4th down had a lot to do with it. So those guys are playing well, and I like the rotation that we've got going. I think those guys are staying fresh throughout the game. They're only playing about 40 snaps a game, and when they're that fresh and tuned into the game plan, they're really good players.
We don't give punters love very often, but you just mentioned the 71-yard punt by Logan Lupo when you absolutely had to flip field position. That, and he made 2 field goals in pretty hideous conditions.
Yeah, it was, you know, and we lined up for a 3rd and bobbled the snap, didn't really ever get it down, and probably my fault. That's probably a situation where you got to take the elements a little bit more into consideration and realize just how difficult that task is. But other than that, yeah, really, really proud. I thought for the first time all season that our special teams had a direct positive impact in the game, and we had you know, obviously another big return by LaJonte in the punt return game. So we're making strides in all facets.
After the game, when the guys go over to sing the fight song, I think you were doing a post-game interview with ESPN. But
yeah, they started it too soon. I wanted to start with the crew.
But you came over and thanked the fans who stayed through that rainstorm.
I had thoughts of checking out. This is getting a little too rough down here, but I kid, obviously. So for our student section to have the impact that they've had in our 3 home games, and then to be faced with what they were faced with there in the 3rd quarter with that torrential downpour, and to stick around, and I think it was unquestionable the impact they had. I just felt it necessary to go thank them, because they put up with some tough conditions to cheer us on.
Well, 3:30 Saturday, the Owls go into Raymond James Stadium to face the South Florida Bulls, coming off a 56-35 loss to UAB. They tend to play high-scoring games. Kind of strangely, the lowest scoring game they had was 17-3 against Alabama, but can you afford to get into a shootout with this team, or would you rather not?
I don't know that we're built that way. You know, as good as we are with LaJonte and some of our guys on the perimeter, and we've kind of found our way offensively. We're still definitely a work in progress on that side of the ball, as we are on all sides. But, you know, we're a little too inconsistent on that side of the ball to feel great about having to score 45 points to win a game or whatever. So I think if you ask my preference, no, we would certainly not want to get in a shootout with them. I'd like to see us, you know, play some defense that allows us to do what we want to do and do what we're best at offensively.
And so much of what they do goes through their quarterback, Byron Brown. He's their leading rusher, and of course their leading passer, so your defense is definitely going to have to keep him under a blanket, so to speak.
Yeah, and we did not do a great job against Tulsa in the quarterback run game department, and so, you know, that's definitely got to be an area of emphasis this week, because he is their leading rusher, the entire offense goes through him, and so we understand the challenge at hand, and I think our guys are up for that challenge, but it is going to be one nonetheless, for sure.
All right, it is that time for Tom Herman's Pop Culture Pop Quiz, brought to you by FAU MBA in Sport Management. We're going to go one-hit wonders this week. I have a feeling you're going to nail these. Okay? And I don't give them the answers beforehand, so whoop, there it is.
Getting busy, whoop, there it is, hit me, whoop, there it is, hit me.
What did you just do? What's the game?
Tag team back again. Check it the record. Let's begin. Party on, party people. Let me hear some noise. DC's in the house. Jump, jump for joy.
And our second one is, this is the layup. Come on.
Okay.
Baby got back.
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Have a great trip to USF. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thanks, Frank.
Coming up, a look at a day in practice with defensive back Jayden Williams, wired for sound.
Hey, Rip. Hey, let's talk, fellas. Let's talk.
That's straight ahead on Inside the Owls Burrow. Inside the Owls Burrow is presented by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, the official sports medicine provider of Florida Atlantic Athletics. By Cedar Foods, Cedars, no better hummus. By FAU MBA in Sport Management, nationally renowned and ranked number 11 globally. By Phil Smith Kia, driving the Owls to victory together in style. By Sage Dental, the official dental provider of FAU Athletics. Book at mysagedental.com. And by Shiner Law Group, the injury lawyers that get you more because you deserve more.
So here we have an outside zone play called by Coach Fry down in the red zone. Really good job using misdirection, shifting the tight end, misdirection with the motion, and then a simple outside zone play, but made very successful by the backside two, left guard, left tackle, getting their cut blocks. Zeke Moore coming across, sealing the backside edge, and then the front side, guard, tackle, and center, getting on their man, taking them where they want to go, and Larry had an easy walk through the B gap into the end zone.
Welcome back to Inside the Owls Burrow. I'm Frank Fort. Playing the nickelback position, Jayden Williams has been a very productive player for the Owls so far this season with 3 takeaways. Here's an inside look at Jay Will at practice, mic'd up. Wired for Sound is brought to you by Shiner Law Group, the injury lawyers that get you more because you deserve more.
Reno, you ready to work today? You ready to work today?
He ready to check
You just here, right?
I wake up always ready to work. I wake up.
All right. Hey, we got the same calls in today. I can't let nobody know today. It's gonna work in silence. Let's do it, huh? Watch one! Watch one! Watch one! Watch one! Watch one! So show me your rep.
Me.
And I like the me. I like that. Hey, me. Go! Short! 3 didn't take me to the flats, I would not push with that.
If 3 didn't take you to the flat, you would stay inside.
All right. Hey, hold me. I ain't gonna lie, what's the name know where I'm going?
Left arm.
Hey, that bit looks so smooth though. Hey, y'all can't get this rock, man. Hey, good fit, fellas, good fit. Sugar, Liz. Hey, sugar. Hey, leave that to me, boss. Bro, I got an alert call and they went bunch, bro.
Yeah.
And Tay was the one. Gotta get there, Zaire. I looked the one, he did it out.
He did it out, right? So what I'm doing, I'm up the hash.
All right.
I'm up the hash. That's easy for me.
Sorry. We're keeping it low key today though, nothing crazy.
This is all a facade. Don't let him fool y'all. He's one of the biggest clowns on this team. He be talking the most smack. Don't lie. Am I wrong? He be talking the most smack.
I be chilling.
And he trying to act different for the camera. I don't like that.
I acting different though.
I don't like that one.
Y'all see.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm wrong then. Maybe I'm wrong.
Vote to Island, man. Y'all just experienced J. Will mic'd up. Appreciate y'all for having me, man. We gone.
Up next, he's one of the top defensive players in Florida Atlantic history. Where are they now with Azeez Al-Shaair is next on Inside the Owls Burrow. Welcome back to Inside the Owls Burrow. As a young man growing up in Tampa, Azeez Al-Shaair overcame many obstacles. Earning a scholarship to FAU, he became the Owls' all-time leading tackler with 397 stops until a knee injury midway through his final year cost him the rest of that season. Still, he signed with the San Francisco 49ers as a free agent, where he spent the last 4 seasons. This past offseason, Azeez continued his NFL career by signing with the Tennessee Titans, where he's already made a big impact. Where Are They Now is brought to you by Go Solar Power, lowest payment, best equipment, #1 solar installer.
It's going to happen when it's supposed to happen, and I wouldn't change anything that's happened for me up until this point because I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And honestly, I couldn't write it any better.
I guess definitely a part of why I came here, just the opportunity to kind of just be myself and kind of take on a bigger role. But yeah, it's just kind of always who I've been.
The story of Azeez Al-Shaair is well known to Owl fans. One of 8 children to a single mom growing up in Tampa. A fire consuming their house, leaving the family homeless for a time. Earning a scholarship to Florida Atlantic, caring for 2 of his brothers at the same time becoming one of the best defensive players in Florida Atlantic history. To having his college career cut short by a knee injury midway through his senior year. Dashing his hopes of being drafted, though he did sign with the 49ers as a free agent. Through all that, Azeez reflected back on the poem Invictus, which was related to him by his grandfather.
The things that always stuck with me was the last 2 lines, and it's, I'm the master of my fate, I'm the captain of my soul. So, realistically for me, I think it just kind of fit into my whole life.
I definitely think that, like, when I think about all the things I've been through to be where I am, I think that it's kind of groomed me in this way of being, the person I am today. And I definitely, I'm grateful for it because I feel like you learn so many things through struggles and, through different trials in your life, especially if you can kind of grasp them at an early age, that, I know that some of the skills that I have are, skills that will help me, far beyond football. The perspectives that you get, it's things that you really don't understand or learn until you're in that position, whether it's being a parent, being in a role of leadership over somebody's entire life, getting somebody dressed. I'm in college and I'm taking my 2 little brothers to school every day, feeding them, clothing them. It was my job. So I think, and still having to manage school and football. So I think it definitely allows me just to be able to relate with all the guys and understand that everybody is different, because even for my little brothers, there was 2 of them that I was raising in college, but they were literally grew up in the same household, everything, but 2 completely different people. I got 7 other siblings, there was 8 of us, and all 8 of us think 8 completely different ways.
Last summer, signing with Tennessee as a free agent, Azeez was voted team captain before ever taking a regular season snap with his new teammates.
I try to lead by my actions, but also try to impact the guys and reach them where they are and meet them where they are. Like I said, just try to be authentic, be myself. That's naturally kind of how I am, just a caring person, talk to everybody. In San Francisco, I used to call me the team therapist because I used to literally be the person, anybody got an issue, you talking about something, you're usually talking to Azeez. So that's just kind of always who I've been. Growing up for me, I was really reserved, really quiet, and I always felt like people didn't really understand me or give me a chance to open up or get to talk about myself until I started playing football. So I think that for me, I'm real big on trying to get to interact with guys, get to know your teammates. So that's just kind of what I always done.
Coming up, developing the Owls as young men is the task of Regine Hill. Her story next on Inside the Owls Burrow. Inside the Owls Burrow is brought to you by Adidas, by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, the official sports medicine provider of Florida Atlantic Athletics, by Cedars No Better Hummus, by FAU MBA in Sport Management, helping the sports and entertainment executives of tomorrow, by Phil Smith Kia, by Sage Dental, the official dental provider of FAU Athletics. Book at mysagedental.com. And by Shiner Law Group, injury lawyers that get you more because you deserve more. Welcome back to Inside the Owls Burrow. I'm Frank Fort. Improving as a player is a big part of any college football program, but Owl head coach Tom Herman is also invested in developing his players off the field. That is the mission of the Hoot program. Behind the Scenes is brought to you by Sage Dental, official dental provider of FAU Athletics. Book at mysagedental.com.
So I am the Assistant Director of Player Development here at FAU for the football team. So my goal is to make sure every student athlete on the football team achieve higher goals. I created the program called the Hoop Program, Helping Our Owls Thrive, and I want to make sure our guys thrive on and off the field.
My mom was strong. She always said to me, son, you can make it, you can do whatever you want to do, but you got to be able to stay focused, stay on track.
We've had wonderful speakers come in on financial literacy, sex education, life coaching. To see someone that looks like them who has also faced the same or similar obstacles in life that they have, and to see that they have excelled with all of those things, I feel like is very important.
There are many ways to manage stress and maintain a healthy balance between school and sport. So today we're going to talk about what stress is, how it manifests in your body, and ways to manage it. So you can be good, but you ain't never so good that you don't need to continuously check in with yourself and manage what's going on around you.
Using some of the resources here at FAU with career services, doctor tests for our mental health, being able to decipher between decisions, dealing with issues off the field as well as on the field.
First one, you can probably figure out, passion. It's hard to be a leader if you don't like what you do. It's even harder to motivate others if you don't love what you do, to put in the time, because leading is really about doing.
When Coach Herman talked to you in the hiring process, what did he say he expected out of you and how you could help this team's culture?
He expected me to be the figure of a big sister, making sure that these guys conquer anything that they put their mind to, but also exposing them to resources and things out in the world that they wouldn't know outside of FAU.
That's our show for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm Frank Fort. We'll see you next week on Inside the Owls Burrow. This has been a presentation of Playfly.